We are glad to see you again on our channel, and today we have a review of a movie where a bunch of medical students are coming to a house in the mountains on vacation. The guys have no idea what kind of creepy place they're in or what's gonna happen to them. They have to fight the zombie Nazis living in these parts. Night, winter, snow is everywhere. The girl Sarah runs away from those who follow her through the forest in the dark. She stumbles and falls on the snow, sits under the tree. She is chased by some creatures and deprived of life, being mauled. Morning, 4 guys, medical students, drive in the car. Erlen tries to set up the radio, but there is almost nothing there. The guys are reading the article, and they're talking about what to do if you get hit by a snowstorm. The article says the guy who was hit by the avalanche dug 6 meters down. Martin comments that this is not strange because if you are under an avalanche, it is easy to lose your orientation. One of the guys says to spit and dig in the opposite direction. They also discuss the girls and that Sarah decided to get to a place on skis. In another car drive, 3 girls, also students, from the same company. They talk about guys and decide whom to choose. Hannah says that Martin is the cutest, and he is already busy with the girl herself. Vegard is Sarah's boyfriend. Erland is obsessed with stupid movies, and Roy is only thinking about who to sleep with. The guys get to the snowmobile and get out of the cars. One guy gets on a snowmobile and leaves, tells the others to follow his trail, and he's got the house ready for them when they get there. The guys start walking in the snow through the forest. Erland starts talking about the movies, his favorite theme. He asks how many movies start with a group of friends walking without a connection through the woods. They reluctantly begin to remember, and then ask to change the topic. The girl, Chris, supports the guy. The guy on the snowmobile at that time already got to the house, and that's where the guys are going. He looks around and starts to use the stove, throwing wood there. By the arrival of the guys in the house, it is already warm. The guys start thinking about what to do, and someone suggests first unpacking things, and then they race in the snow, tying to a snowmobile and riding it. That's how time passes until evening. When it gets dark, the guys go inside and play Twister. Erland does not understand the interest of the game, but then he notices that the girls are with their bums up, and his opinion changes. Martin dabbles with Hannah. He asks her to close her eyes to show an antique anesthetic, and Fake starts choking her with a pillow. Hannah starts to panic. When the guy stops, Hannah says that she is claustrophobic and asks not to do so anymore. The guys keep talking, and the beer is already going on. Liv goes to the toilet, which is separate on the street. She hears strange sounds and asks, "Who is here?" looking into the darkness. Then it's like she sees someone, she gets scared, and then she goes back inside. Liv tells the guys that she saw someone, and they open the door to check. Suddenly, a middle-aged stranger appears near the door. He asks if the guys will make him coffee. The man starts asking what the guys are doing here and whose house it is. In parallel, he drinks beer, and then he makes a roll and starts smoking it. Friends say that they came here because they are on vacation and the house belongs to Sarah. Also, the guys say that Sarah goes here on skis. The man starts saying that the guys should read the history of this place before coming here to ride a snowmobile. He says that during World War II, the Germans had a secret base nearby, the main purpose of which was not to miss the convoy from England to Russia. The man says that usually the Germans did not touch the locals, but here everything was different, because Colonel Herzog commanded, he made the places here a hell. The locals were tortured and killed. By the end of the war, having gone too far, the Germans, already aware that the war was lost, had gone to all the houses and robbed them, taking everything precious, silver, gold, all the decorations of the people. If any of the residents objected, they fired. However, the locals secretly organized a militia, which the Germans did not know. 3,000 people united against the Germans, who tortured them for 3 years. People took everything they could fight, pitchforks, axes, knives, everything they found in their homes. Residents attacked in the middle of the night. They even had a numerical advantage. the soldiers, were only 300, most of whom lost their lives. However, Colonel Herzog and some of his soldiers fled into the mountains, taking some of the stolen jewels with them. The locals, of course, rushed to catch up with them, but right on the site of the house lost their tracks. Most likely, the Germans froze to death. The man claims that there is evil everywhere, and they should be careful not to wake it up. He stands up, gets dressed, and is going to leave. One guy jokes that they are all medics here and somehow cope, after which the man grabs his throat and asks what to do if you hold your guts, etc. He lets the guy go, thanks for the coffee, and leaves. Vegard, Sarah's boyfriend, at night, sees a girl in a dream and begins to worry about her. A male stranger sleeping in a tent hears strange noises in the middle of the night and comes out. Something or someone speeds past him and slits his throat. He crawls into the ward, but the assailant walks in behind him and kills the man with the knife. The next morning, Vegard dresses up and decides to go looking for his girlfriend, Sarah. The guy tells his friends that he feels like something happened. He also tells the boys that if he doesn't return by tomorrow, they should go to the cars on the trail of the snowmobile and call for help. Vegard leaves. The guys are racing off the mountains on planks like sledge. Vegard stops on the way for a snack. Then he notices a tent in the middle of the snow. The guy looks inside and sees a dead man who was there with them and the boys in the house. The man has gutted all the internal organs. Blood is everywhere. Vegard is shocked and sits on a snowmobile. He notices tracks on the snow and is going to drive on them. The guys in the house play words. Hannah prepares to eat. She cuts carrots and accidentally touches her finger with a knife. Martin is lost at the sight of blood, and the guys make fun of him. They ask him how he would practice medicine if he was shaken by the sight of blood, and they tell him to go to the baker's. Erland at this time finds some box and shows his friends. In the box there are gold jewelry. Vegard at this time, driving along the trail, starts screaming and calling Sarah, and then suddenly falls under the snow into some cave underground and loses consciousness. The boys and girls are drinking and having fun in the house. They play with the found jewelry, putting it on themselves. One of the guys says it's too early to be happy because you don't know whose jewelry it is. And somebody says that the box has been here for 50 years, so they can relax, sell everything, and pay college loans. Martin does not understand how the box has been lying for so many years and nobody has noticed it. The guys tell him that he is a bore. Martin insists that it is not gold. Roy replies that crafts are not hidden. Erland goes to the toilet, losing a gold coin along the way. After a while, Chris comes to him and starts to seduce him. The girl sits on top, kisses the guy. The couple makes love. Erland goes to the house, satisfied. Chris is going to come out of the toilet too, when suddenly she notices someone nearby on the street. She asks if it is Erland, but in return, silence. She is attacked by a zombie Nazi. A girl is covered with blood. She tries to get home, screams, but is dragged into the dark. Hannah hears something in the house and begins to worry about her friend. The guys try to call Chris, but the girl does not respond. Then the boys, armed with a rifle found above the door, go outside to find Chris. They're checking around the house, then in the toilet. But the girl's nowhere to be found. The boys return to the house and say that they have not found anyone, but have found someone's backpack. The girls panic because their girlfriend is missing. The name on the backpack is Sarah. The guys start arguing whether to go looking for girls right now or not. Hannah at this time goes to the window and sees Chris there. At first, she gets excited and starts calling for a girl, but then she sees that it's just Chris's head and someone is holding it. The girl starts screaming and closing the doors. Lev comes to the window and says that there is no one there, but someone outside grabs her hair. The guys rescue the girl. Hannah cuts off her hair, and her friends pull her inside. They barricade the doors, forcing them with things, pick up knives. In the window, the guys see zombie Nazis. Zombies begin to rush into the house. The guys are trying to close the window. Zombies take Erland and tear it apart, taking his life. Everyone panics and screams. Vegard at this time comes to himself and gets out of the cave. He goes to the snowmobile. The guys sit on the floor of the house and think about what to do next. They decide to split up. Martin and Roy stay, make noise to distract the zombies, and the girls, Hannah and Liv, run to the cars to get help. There are no tracks of the snowmobile, so finding the cars won't be easy. Vegard makes himself a torch, pours gasoline on a cloth stick and ignites, and returns to the cave. There he finds the Nazi flag, German firearms, helmets and things, as well as the head of Sarah. Leaving the cave, the guy bumps into a zombie Nazi. He starts fighting the creature and wins. Then he sees more zombies. Hannah and Liv run through the snow, and they realize they're lost because they don't remember the road at all. Hannah says they should split up, so at least one of them will find a car. Liv disagrees and screams that these creatures, zombies, are just waiting for it. The girl believes that alone they will not have a chance to survive. Hannah hits Liv on the cheek to get her out of it. Friends are still thinking of splitting up when suddenly they see zombies very close. The girls run in different directions. Vegard fights several zombies. The guy seems to manage to lose one them life, but the second attacks him and Vegard hangs over the cliff. Liv is also caught by a zombie. The girl detonates a grenade, taking their lives and herself respectively too. Hannah climbs the tree, hiding from the zombies. Two of them catch up with the girl. She takes life of one of them and runs away. She finds herself on a slope. The girl makes the snow fall, and, along with the zombie who chases her, falls down. Martin and Roy enter the house, but accidentally set it on fire. The zombie colonel watches everything from afar. The boys take all the tools they can defend themselves with. A wounded Vegard gives himself the first aid and sits on a snowmobile. Hannah wakes up and realizes that she has been snowed down. She manages to get out and she kicks a zombie nearby. Martin and Roy, with a chainsaw and a hammer in their hands, go outside. The guys start fighting zombies. Vegard on a snowmobile also fights with zombies. Martin and Roy see him and ask him where he found the gun. While talking, the guys do not notice how zombies crept up to them. Vegard is torn to pieces. He bleeds. The guys try to defend themselves. Martin accidentally takes the life of Hannah, who was near as he doesn't notice her. Then Martin is bitten on his hand, and he immediately cuts it off with a chainsaw, but the zombies bite him in the groin. Martin and Roy see Colonel Herzog standing there, looking straight at them. The zombie colonel shouts something, and all his soldiers rise up again. The wounded Martin and Roy try to escape. Herzog overtakes Roy and hits him with a hammer, after which the boy loses his life by stumbling on a tree branch on the road. Martin manages to run home and find the box with gold. The guy gives it to the zombie Nazis, and they do not touch him. Martin runs to the car and gets behind the wheel. He takes the keys out of his pocket, but notices there is another gold coin. A zombie colonel appears outside the window and breaks the glass. This is the Norwegian film Dude Snoo, in the genres of horror, comedy, action film. The director and screenwriter is Tommy Verkol.